You know who loves Izotope? This guy. Everyone here at Ruinous Media can't get enough of Izotope's intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. This year, make a resolution to yourself to say goodbye to bad audio and hello to super clear, wide, dynamic, clean audio using Izotope RX11 and the new Ozone 12. Master every track's potential with their complete 20-tool suite. Go to izotope.com and use code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. And go to izotope.com. That spelling is izotope.com. I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Schecter Guitars. This holiday season, go over to schecterguitars.com and see what high-quality goodies they have waiting there for you. Premium feel and unbeatable price. See why guitarists like Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse, Robert Smith from The Cure, and Ernie C. from Body Count all love Schecter Guitars. A wide variety of styles and builds with high-end components and affordable prices for touring guitarists. Built to last. Go treat yourself and try something new you've always wanted to check out. Schecter Guitars has it all. Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. What's happening? Thank you so much for tuning into Hyphenate Halftime. This is our show for Monday, February 2nd. The month of February is here. January, the longest January that I've ever seen on record, is now over, and February has just begun. With me, as always, Mr. Aaron Farley. How do you do, Mr. Aaron Farley?
Welcome to Goodman and Cruz, the podcast for all remaining podcasts looking up to. Looking
at all things John Goodman. I was explaining to Farley before the mics were on that John Goodman will be in a new Tom Cruise movie called Digger later this year. And we don't know much about it, but we were speculating on what possible, buddy cop hijinks. Tom Goodman and John Cruise.
Tom Goodman and John Cruise.
We're already getting
favorite actors.
We're getting a mix up. We thought it could be something like a face-off where they play each other, where John Goodman is playing Tom Cruise and Tom Cruise is playing John Goodman.
Yes.
It's hard to say, really.
But they're also
twisters.
But they're also cops, and they're trying to find who robbed the hunting store of Goodman and Cruz. Goodman and Cruz, or they could be lawyers. Goodman and Cruz.
What if they were down in Florida and they ran like Everglade, like fanboat cruises?
Ooh.
Or some kind of cruise. There was a Goodman cruise.
The Goodman Cruise.
Yeah, there we go.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's so many options. We have to get them on board, and then we'll write it around them.
Yes.
We'll see what they think, and they'll obviously be.
I think we just use AI and we do it all ourselves. I think we just pop all this into an AI chat, shut down the grid, and waste all the water of a third world country, and then hey, we're set.
What? I mean,
we'll make like 5 cents. It'll only cost $50 billion, and we'll make like 5 cents on it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I mean, the way I think of it is, why not?
There we go.
Why wouldn't you just ruin the place you live?
Sure.
That's what I think.
For entertainment.
We have all this stuff. We have all this great stuff. This great place, this great earth that we have been given with this amazing weather, and we can breathe here. You can run, you can jump, you can do all those things. I'm just like, the first thought is, this is great. Second thought is, why not ruin this? We should ruin it. We should make it worse. We should make it worse for everyone. And even when we think it's better for us, that it's actually worse for us too, because we're just stressed out, horrible rich people. Yeah. So that's kind of my goal. That's my 2026 goal, to make the life worse for everybody around me.
Oh,
and then to only hang out on big boats
and I thought you were gonna say big platforms owned by right wing weirdos.
Well,
that too.
I mean, that's one way to get there. We have to get there somewhere.
Oh,
so
Lord.
I wanted to tell you, Randy, that we've taken in money from TPUSA for the podcast. No, just kidding. I'll stop it right now.
Yeah. Oh, this dystopian nightmare.
Like, no.
Yeah. Well,
I am an AI bot.
Mr. Farley, I have to say though, I admitted to having fun with AI. I thought it was fun. And then I've seen the errors of my ways. I think it is destructive. But it wasn't really that much fun either. I don't know. With all the face filters, I was like, how can this? We used face filters on Instagram and all these other funny things. It just seemed like that's all it was doing. But I guess there's a lot more power in the back end of it. I didn't quite understand the impact of all that stuff. But I don't know. It's a weird one.
And it's one of those things that is like eating a bunch, like when a new candy bar comes out or something. You're like, ooh, this has a new taste. I like this. I could have a couple of these. Yeah. I could replace my love of Twix and Kit Kat for this new, whatever this new candy bar is. And then like eat that candy bar a couple times and you go,
this feels weird.
Yeah.
It's not that exciting.
This is too much. Yeah.
Well, it's the kind of thing too, where it was hard to process. I understood the cultural downfall and the comedic sort of capital of like, well, this is just terrible for people's brains. If you don't know what's real or what isn't real, if all of that power of like deep fakes is in everybody's pocket, that could be problematic at some point. And I thought it was kind of funny, it was like, well, no one's going to know what the future is anymore. How are you going to believe what you see? Yeah. But then I was like, oh, right. This is all kind of going towards, it gets dystopian so quickly.
Real quick. Well, and I'm also wondering, so I'm getting my conspiracy theory intake has not been this high for years.
Oh no.
Since maybe 9/11 was a hoax days.
Oh. Jeez.
And but it's great. It's great. It keeps me going. I'm basically, I feel like I'm reading sci-fi. Like I've gotten into sci-fi,
but it's reality.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read all the sci-fi books, but it's real time fanfic. Exactly. That's where I feel like I'm at. Cause I'm like, okay, so I can't believe any of this until it actually comes out and you're like, wow, a lot of this really is true. like when you're seeing all the Epstein like all these things that are coming out and you're like, that guy really write that? And then you're like, well, I haven't heard from that guy yet. So yeah, looks like it maybe. But then, but so much of it, even with the AI stuff, I was thinking about it and was like, okay, I can get that. All of a sudden, you need all this power and all these things to run all this AI but then I thought like, well, I don't know, but why though? I mean, I get it kind of, but I really do feel like those quote unquote data centers are really just like the amount, it's just gathering they're data centers. They're like gathering data on everybody.
High powered processes
and it's
servers or whatever.
It's less kind of, oh, look, it's AI. It's like the AI that you're using as a teacher to help you write lesson plans or whatever. Like that's just Google. That's just like fancy Google, right? Like that stuff is just like AI combing the Google and finding things and going like, oh, well, you could find 20 lesson plans on how to use a ruler, right? and then that AI is taking those and going, well, do you want part 1 or part 4? Whatever. Like that's kind of that's what most people are using AI for. Like those kind of little things, right? I feel like most of that data center stuff is literally coming from storing our faces, storing our attaching our faces to our license plates, keeping our phone and then putting our phone information into that algorithm that's attached to our license plate, and that is finding where we went, and storing all of that stuff. I feel like it's storing information on all of us. This is the dystopian. The dystopian part is not necessarily making our faces into panda bears.
Right.
It's like that's the part that gets people to go like, oh, this is kind of cute. And then while they're chopping our legs off from underneath us. Yeah.
I mean, I get, even the term AI, I think is so misleading and it has this other kind of like sci-fi sort of implication in the, like, are these robots, those overlords? From what I understand, it feels like it's more computer learning, but which is just, an evolution of computer science and processing power. Like if you make everything smaller, faster, better, stronger. Eventually it leads to this type of processing power where you can feed in real time, 50,000 faces in a football stadium, and you have everything you need on that person, and you can create whatever video you want with any of those 50,000 faces and follow them for the rest of their life, and comb all of their data and create create a whole other world online with all of those people. Is there a computer doing that? No, there's a human inputting, like, well, this is the stadium, this is what I want it to say, is what I want it to do. There's still prompts being done, and that can be done for nefarious purposes. It could be done for, better purposes. I could imagine anybody, it's a tool. A wrench can be a dangerous weapon, or it can be a useful thing to fix a car. It's in.
The problem is most of the time we use a wrench for good purposes. And I feel like the other side is most of the time it's used for nefarious purposes. I mean, the idea that almost everything is just funded by the CIA or government programs is starting to really take hold in my brain. To go like, I don't think anything was real. Like anything that becomes bigger of like, oh my God, look, this Microsoft, it's just like, it just became this thing because everybody used it. And then you look and you start to see the files of like, wait, how many billions were infused in 1992 to make a server for Microsoft to be used for CIA cover in Afghanistan or what, whatever. And you're like, oh, right.
Well, yeah. I mean,
or was Facebook really started how it was started, or was it actually started as a government conspiracy?
Right. Well, and there's things that aren't even conspiratorial where, Larry Ellison, created the Oracle network, which was, network for CIA to use, one of the first early databases for this, for spy networks. Yeah. And then now this is the guy who has, owns Paramount and owns CBS and owns all these, just bought TikTok. And you go, okay, well, these aren't conspiracies. In some way, it's just fact. The guy who creates the first database for the CIA owns multiple media companies and is only putting out one type of thing. But we've seen it, but you've seen it with Fox News. Is it not Roger Avery,
Ailes.
Yeah. I mean, you see, there's one voice for news propaganda things. I don't know. But all technology, microwaves, we all have microwaves in our house. I'm sure there was some kind of war, weaponized sort of research that got us to that. Or, you just throw a dart at anything. Yeah. It's either for war or for sex, or is made for war. Now it's used for sex. There's only human things that men build, right? Or things for killing other men or for making more men. Yeah. All the basis of all technology, I think, goes down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's talk about last week's interview with Julian Gross.
Speaking of men,
making more men.
I love Julian.
Yeah.
I was so happy when I saw his name on there.
Yeah. No, he's somebody I had wanted to talk to for a long time. And it was, I was glad we finally got the time to do it.
I re-met Julian through the Altamont. To that Altamont project.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was really fun. Yeah.
But we had met
when did you first
during
meet
his
him?
Liars days.
Okay. Did you shoot Liars?
Because, I shot them twice I was trying to think. I think it was both times for Enemy. And, but the first time I shot them, it was in the studio. And it was just they had a record coming out. And so it was just for a story in the Enemy. But it was a pretty good story. It was like the story in the middle of the magazine, so it was a big spread and all this stuff. And usually, with those things, you get in touch with the band and you get an email, and they're like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And you say, "Yeah, let's meet here, and we can come up with some ideas while we're there. Unless you guys have anything." They're like, "Yeah, I got nothing." Sure. And you show up and you make up a bunch of stuff and you hang out for a couple hours and get some good photos. And this one was Julian emailing me and was like, "You the photographer?" Yeah. Okay. I got an idea. What's the budget?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And it was like, I was like, it's a magazine. It's like $200 or something.
No budget.
It was like, I have a full budget, including my fee,
sure,
everything for like $250, but I'm willing to spend that if it's worth it. And he's like, okay, what we need to do is get a bunch of holy dust, which is that stuff, the
yes.
Indian, the colored
I remember
dust
this. Yeah.
from the Indian. And then there's this place out in the valley that has like the sugar bottles, like the breakaway bottles. So they look like soda. They look like soda bottles, but you can break them over somebody's head.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, we need to get like 24 of those. And we're going to do, I want it to be, we're all dressed in white, and then we're getting bottles broken over our head, and the holy dust is going everywhere.
Great.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll spend my $250 on that. I think we split it.
You had me at colorful dust.
Mm-hmm. And then I had a space at the Day 19 studio.
Right, yeah.
Or XIX. So we had an actual white psych that we could shoot at for free and all that stuff. So it worked out. And then those photos are awesome. I still have them.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up online right now. I'm trying to find them.
It's actually on my website, I think.
Well, there you go.
If you just go to my site, it should be on there.
What's the name of
your... It's not on there.
What's the name of your site again?
AaronFarley.com.
Oh, okay. That's for everybody out there. Listen, if you want to follow along at home, you can go to AaronFarley.com.
You have the artwork site and then the photo and video
work. Video work. Okay, I see this here. This is fantastic. Oh, yeah, there was all the Altamont stuff. That was really fun.
Yeah, all the Altamont stuff is up top. And then if you go to musicians and you go to liars.
Musicians. Okay. Well, no, I don't see it. There's a musicians? Music Man? No.
Where it says fun times, musicians.
Oh, fun times.
And then underneath that it says musicians. Do you have to scroll up?
It's the overview. It's just us going through the thing. Fun times.
Okay. Go down.
Oh, wait. There we go. I went too far in. Musicians. Yeah. Liars. Beautiful. Oh, how great is that? Look at that. That's great. Okay, well, I will put a link in the comments. Or a link in the
so that's where
in the show notes. That looks amazing.
Yeah, so we did all of this. So he just wanted like the bottles exploding over their heads, and they're just looking like normal dudes. And it was awesome. And then we did all these lighting and video shots and overlays and all this stuff. And I think they ended up using the overlay for the front, but that's how I met them. But I didn't know Julian or any of the dudes before that. And then there was one more shoot for their next record that we did
with all the yarn
with all the yarn. And then that one was, hey, show up to their studio, they're recording, and we want to get you to get like live shots of them recording. And then I showed up and they're like, yeah, we're not recording anymore. They were just mixing, I think. And so we had set up, and I'm like, and some people don't like to fake it.
Sure.
But they're like, yeah, totally. Like, what should we do? We should make it funny. And like, so I think I got them like their microphones, and they're like laying upside down on the couch, and it looks like they're singing. And
oh, that's hilarious.
Laying all over each other and stuff. Yeah, it was really fun. But that was years before, and then the Altamont thing came out, and then you said like, yeah, my friend Julian, but I didn't have the connection. And then when we showed up to that first shoot, I was like, oh wait, you're the drummer in Liars. We made the connection. And then I worked with him. Yeah, and then he brought me in on a couple other jobs on some video editing stuff for Apple, and then one other photo shoot for a guy whose name I can't remember. I think he was in the band Dale Earnhardt Jr., which they had to switch. I think I might be getting this wrong.
Yeah,
but it was like someone from the band's solo project.
Oh, funny.
And again, Julian's the best because he just is like, okay, so I have this idea. And you're like,
okay,
yeah, what is it?
Where are we going?
Yeah. So we're going to shoot all these things, and then we're going to print them out, and then I'm going to like rip them all up. So you got to think of it in this terms, because these are all going to be ripped up and put back together. And so he just has like these big kind of overarching creative ideas first, but then it's like, but you do you. So then you just like, that's my idea, but it might change, but like, that's kind of what we're going for. And then we'd shoot. And then, It was fun though. That whole shoot was like, we were like shooting at some bar downtown, and then we're shooting at someone's house who was a producer who had a pool in their backyard, and I don't even, it was one of those things. Yeah, my buddy has a house in the hills.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him. We're gonna have him shoot. We're gonna have him laying in a pool and
I'm bringing lights
in a full suit, 3-piece suit, and yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah,
that's awesome. But his work. Oh, and then the Group Love record. He did that Group Love record that I think got like you guys got nominated for a Grammy for package design.
Way.
I think.
Okay.
And then
I wonder who they lost to.
So technically, I didn't get nominated for a Grammy, but it was my photos on the front of the album. So I found out about it later. I found out about it afterwards.
That's the best time to find out about those things. Yes.
I mean, I didn't have anything to do with the design per se, but it was my photos.
Well, do you remember we did? No, I don't think you weren't in it, but what did we do? We had a record. How did it work? Oh no. Okay. So it was one of the first 5 EPs. We had a funny thing. I may have told the story on the pod before, but it was, we did this thing where like Regina, we like shook our faces. So, your face was all like, lips are elongated, and we took a photo of that. I think it just had, one of us or somebody just gave our cameras to one of our friends to take that photo. So that photo was taken by this photographer from the Midwest, from like Indiana, that we had met on tour, and he came out to LA. He's like, I want to shoot you guys. And we're just kind of new. We're like, sure. Yeah. So he shot a bunch of cool photos, which were great, but we didn't have a use for them, but that photo we did like. And then our friend Amanda wanted to paint a big photo or a big picture of us, or she wanted to do like these big portraits she was doing. And I gave her that photo that photographer had taken. And so she painted a big painting of that photo. And then we liked that painting. Like, oh, that looks crazy. She's the one she painted the front of The Smell for the Weirdo Rippers cover. She did the big mural on the front of The Smell. Took that photo. Jeremy and Claire took that photo that became the cover of Weirdo Rippers. So she did the painting, and then we took it to Rodinger. Had a friend who had a big photography studio, and he took the photo of the painting, and the painting was of a photo. So then we credited the photographer who took a painting who took a picture of the painting, and we credited Amanda who made the painting, but we forgot to credit the photographer who originally took the photo that was inspired the painting. And so and he reached out to us and he was upset. And I felt bad. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. The game of the Russian doll nesting dolls of creativity and art here really kind of got away from us. It was our fault. We should have. Well,
and especially when you're young, you forget.
Of course.
All of those.
Yeah. No.
You're like, oh, right. Yeah. Whoops.
And we're just dumb. We just thought it was a dumb photo of us. And we'd been doing that thing where we did the shaky face things a lot around that time. It was kind of it was almost it was like a meme type thing before it was a thing.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't really even remember who took the photo. Like we did like a million of those dumb photos. Like I was taking those photos. This is before Instagram. It just was fun to take dumb photos. Maybe we had a blog or something. Anyway, yeah, it's a funny one as that world goes.
It is.
But Julian is always super creative, and I didn't know so much of his story, even about like the Urban Outfitters, like repurposing clothes and stenciling on things. Did I.
Yeah, it's amazing. I knew he was into like the graffiti world and MSK and all that stuff when he was younger, but then I didn't know, but it makes sense when he's telling all those stories. I'm like, that he's like the most relaxed hustler.
That's a good name. You should have a shirt that says the most relaxed hustler. Yeah,
because he's always like, he seems like he's always in the middle. They're like, oh yeah, I know that guy. I was in a band with him, or I used to do this thing, but it made sense too when he said he's like, I just kind of say yes. And I think I feel like I was in that camp for a while where I was like, just say yes to everything. And then sometimes it works out, and then sometimes you end up down a dark alley where you're like, how do I get out of this? I said yes to way too much bad stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't have said yes to everything.
Yeah. You start to draw the line at some things. Well, it's also the not being married, not having kids thing. Like I have nothing but time. You could waste my time all day long. I could waste a whole weekend, and it either could just be a wasted weekend where nothing happened, or I worked on a project that never came out, or it's the thing that, you know, everyone's going to know me for. It's going to make my entire career. I feel like that's the dice roll you have, you know, or at least we had, you know, in our 20s. It was like, I don't know, I'm going to go play on this guy's record. Maybe no one will ever hear it. Maybe it'll be the next, you know, hit song on the radio everywhere. And I could say, oh, I played on that record. You know, those weird deals you make with yourself. And like, did it cost me anything? No. So nothing really, you know,
some time.
Yeah.
But that's it. Well, and also that when you're younger like that too, and you're trying to learn how all this stuff works, this is also kind of like when people say like, oh, you shouldn't work for free. I'm like, well, you should work for free smartly.
Yeah.
If you're going to work for free, you have to look at it and go, am I just working to not, like, what's the benefit for me? It's like, if you're getting paid, the first benefit is money. And then hopefully it's a cool project too. But if you're not getting money, then you're like, well, is it a cool project? Are these people that I'm going to be able to work with later? Is someone taking advantage of me, or am I actually just being useful to the project? And we're all going to like try to use all of our talents to like level up and become better at what we do or something. And then there's the times where you think you're doing that and you're like, oh, they were just taking advantage of me.
Yeah, it does happen.
They all left and went their thing. And I'm like, hey guys, wait, I was right. Okay. Well, I misjudged that one. But I do think that when you're younger doing work for free, as long as you have a goal in mind of like what you want to get out of it, if you're like, I need to shoot more live shows. So like, I'm going to go shoot 10 live shows for free first. And like, so there's no pressure. And I'm like, hey, can I come shoot your show for free? And I'll give you 3 prints. I'm going to do prints. I'll give you guys a couple prints when I'm done or whatever. That's what I used to do in Portland. And then I'd go and I had access to a dark room. So I'd go and I'd make a couple prints and I'd give them prints. And I look back and I'm like, a couple of these are good. A couple of them are kind of shitty, but
that was your process. You needed to shoot those before you could get better at it. You needed to be in that situation.
And you get on the list. You get on the list and you wouldn't have to pay. And so you get to see these bands and I only shot bands I really liked. And so then you'd meet a couple people and then I'd get a call and we're like, hey, we're playing with so-and-so tonight. You want to come play? We're at Satyricon. You want to come shoot some photos and see if anything turns out? I'm like, yeah, awesome. And then that's how I ended up shooting with that Elliott Smith show and stuff, is because those dudes were friends with him. And then when he came into town and
you should
got to do that, you know,
that's amazing.
Yeah. And got some crappy kind of photos, but you know,
some of them were in focus.
I didn't get the greatest. Well, it was one of those too, where it was like, I was like, ended up kind of being friends with the guys enough, like going out friends, you know, like people you'd see out. And then I just didn't have enough confidence to just like put my camera in front of my face and shoot everything.
Right.
Because I can remember it in my, like, if I wish I was really a great artist, great at drawing, because I could still draw the whole back, like the whole, you know, backstage area of it wasn't Crystal Ballroom. Where was it? It was at the big theater there in Portland.
It's the Portland one. I don't know. Oh yeah.
But it was
a big open wood space up on a second story.
Yeah, but Crystal Ballroom was the place where it had the springs in the floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. It was the theater. I don't remember. But anyway,
right.
But
Hawthorne.
It was
the Hawthorne Theater was kind of a
this is way bigger than that. Because this was like in 1999 or 2000. So he had just done.
It's before my time.
He was on.
Yeah.
He was on that second big record, not Either Or, but XO.
Okay.
So he was like huge at that time. And then, but I could still see like everybody, like all the dudes from Pavement were there. It was like any Northwest, every band from the Northwest was sitting in the back stage, and I was sitting there.
Oh,
you know,
geez.
I was like,
I gotta have a camera, but I don't really want to take a picture of anybody.
Seriously, I was 23. I was probably the only one with the camera in there.
So funny, right?
And I was like, well, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be like the you know, paparazzi.
The lurker. Yeah, because they'd kick you out.
Because nobody knew who it's not that nobody knew who I was, but like they knew I was there with the dudes from the other two bands, like Sean Crogan and these other dudes that I'd been shooting their bands. And they actually, a couple of them played in Elliot's band. So like they were the backing band
okay.
for him, but then their band opened up as well. And they all grew up, in Portland and everything together. So they were like all buddies. But, and so it's like all those guys were all there. And then I was like, I'm just like this 22-year-old kid and I'm around all these people and I guess maybe I'll take a couple photos. I don't think I even took any photos in the backstage. And then I have some of him up on stage, but from the back because he didn't want like a photo pit or anything. So no photos in the front.
It's so funny. I love those photos of like Lou Reed, like Iggy Pop and like David Bowie hanging out, or there's like weird, you know what I mean? There's weird ones of them like just at parties and things. You're like, somebody had to say, hey, can I take a picture?
Well, and also now I look back and go like, all those people had been like, yeah, well, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
of course. like they all want to remember that time too, like look back someday in a book and be like, oh my God, that's backstage at the Elliott Smith show in Portland,
right?
Whatever. Like no one cares,
right?
And so
at the moment,
but whatever.
Yeah,
I was a young kid.
Yeah,
I was a young kid and had no confidence. Well, I had enough confidence to get to that point.
Yeah, just
and then once I got there, I was like, yeah, but whatever. That's how it goes.
That's fun. Yeah. So Julian, I first met Julian when we did the tour with Liars in 2008.
Right.
Yeah, and I didn't know those guys at all, but Dean knew Angus and Aaron from Santa Clarita. I think I've talked to Aaron about it. So yeah, and then Brian Rodinger, who would go on to design a bunch of the records and stuff we did. That's when I first met him too. He was doing merch on that tour, and so. It was really. Was
he doing merch for Liars?
Yeah, I think it was the kind of thing where he just wanted to jump in the van. I think he had the time, to go.
Is he Cal Arts too?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so they all knew each other from Cal Arts.
I think so. Yeah, and from kind of growing up there, and skating
awesome.
and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that tour it was really funny. Yeah, that tour was because I remember them asking us like how we had toured. We're like, we just rent minivans, and like we were doing it really cheap. So I think they were trying to figure out how to do it on the cheap also. And, because touring it's that trick, like, oh, it looks like you're making a lot of money, but then we should get a bus. We should do a thing. You're like, well, why should you do, you're just blowing whatever money you were going to make. And so I remember them kind of doing a more DIY version, but I think they had two minivans. I think that was because they were the headliners and they had more gear and they had more shit and more people in the band. That was the benefit of just having two people. So even if we added a front of house person and a merch person, and then we're still just at normal capacity of a band. Now there's four people in a minivan.
Yeah, because those people just have backpacks. They don't
come with a drum kit,
bunch of equipment and
drums
yeah.
or and amps and things. Yeah. So yeah, it was really fun. But yeah, I remember meeting Julian on that tour, and it's funny just seeing him play every night. And he was always really nice and really stoned. And it was always really fun.
He really is the best. He's like the guy that he show up and his eyes get really big every time. And he's like,
dude,
hey, oh my God, what are you doing? Do you know this person? Have you ever met this person? Have you ever met this person? He's just like that. I don't know.
Yeah. But it makes sense
awesome.
kind of how they operated as a band, that he would sort of cycle in the mix. I think they had a bass player and a drummer before, and I feel like it seemed like they were kind of in the verge of transitioning. The Liars band is, turning into a different, with every record, they would sort of reinvent themselves, especially in those early days.
Yeah.
And so having Julian on board, it was a sort of a jack of all trades. Like he could do he could do the design work, he could do the drumming, and just the general like vibe manager too, just being stoked to be there.
Yeah. I think it's very, it brought up to thinking of how important it is to have someone who is thoughtful about the visuals of the band in the band. Like sometimes people have like a secondary person, or like you guys had Rodinger to think of design stuff, but you guys also were very cognizant of like, how do we want our band to feel? What's the vibe? What's the, and I think even with Liars, like it made sense when they're all art school kids, but then also like even Julian, he's like, I think my kind of special power was that I really was the designer and I could also play drums.
Yeah.
Because you think of that band too. And I'm like, I don't really think of them as like you're thinking like, oh, there's a ripping guitar player or an amazing drummer or whatever. But you think of them, you're like, their visuals were always crazy.
Yeah.
And they're very like the design of like their aesthetic was always like very specific and on point for whatever they were doing at that moment. And I think that's it doesn't happen with a ton of, well, whatever. I don't know a ton of bands now. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens with,
Sure.
but it seems like with the bands that do that now, it's mostly on the kind of dark emo, like theatrical.
Oh, right.
Kind
It's
of
a different genre of stuff.
kick to it. But
yeah, I don't know how it all works. I also just think visually, you would see the records more. You know what I mean? It was the kind of thing where you interacted with larger format record art. And I think what was I doing the other day? I was going through a band's discography on a streaming platform, and it's like it was one thing when it was like, okay, record to CD, okay, and then CD to MP3 or something, but then now I'm like, it's like less than the size of your fingernail and like your pinky fingernail. I'm just like, which album? I'm trying to find an album, and I would know these are iconic.
Totally,
these are iconic album art. I was looking for like Ozzy Osbourne records. I was looking at Bark at the Moon. I was like, there's a lot of blue in it, and I don't have my glasses on too. And I'm getting older, and I'm trying to just like look at my phone and like, how do I find Bark at the Moon on this streamer? And I'm just like, this sucks. It's great art. This great artwork. There's all this stuff, and now it's the teeniest, tiniest thing it could possibly be. Like just it's a perfect encapsulation of like the importance of album art. Where it went from, giant murals or these like thought out, creative, conceptual, surreal art pieces, even like the Paranoid record, you know what I mean? Where it's like the photo, the reflection, and we can see their reflection back to them, then on the back, you see their backs. And it was like, this is so smart. Yeah. Can't see any of that. You pull that up on your streaming device, which is 99% of people listening to that record now today are probably pulling it up on these things. You're like, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I was listening to somebody talking about finding music now and just how different it is, because so many times, and I get a ton of music like sent to me from my algorithm or whatever that I'm like,
brag.
Yep. You got me. Like you got me. This is good. I like this band.
Yep.
Like this is some new band that I've never heard of. And I'm like, yep. Totally.
Yeah, I'm in.
I like this band. This sounds like a mix of Jesus Lizard with some, whatever.
Yeah.
And but that someone was talking about like having to search for music still because of other people instead of an algorithm giving it to you. It's like having like some band going, hey, we just toured with this band and you guys should all listen to it or whatever, which is how you used to hear bands, or even this was the idea of an opening band, was to introduce a band to the first 25% of the people that got there early.
If you wonder what we like, here's the people we picked to come with us on tour. Check them out.
Yeah, or
you might like it.
And it gave the labels a way to like push their lower, like the new bands and all of that stuff. And that you think of that now, and you're like, most people, I don't know if that works or whatever, but it's also a totally different. I mean, I was talking about this with the students now too. It's that the idea of people searching for things and trying to find things that aren't right in front of them is like an impossible task now. Like the idea that people just shut off if it's not right in front of them is real. Like with the 12-year-olds and stuff now, it's like trying to get them to move one stage past, like, I don't understand this.
I looked, it wasn't there. Yeah.
It's not in front of me though. And it's like a real thing. And I feel like even music and art and movies and all of that stuff, people are like, well, where do I find things? And I'm like, have you looked? Like, have you searched like new music blogs? Like, I guarantee 1,000 things would come up, and it would probably take you like an hour and a half to find like 2 music writers or blogs or whatever that is now, if there's even blogs, but like someone on Instagram that gives new music advice every day or something like that. Like there's a couple people that I follow that pop up on mine every once in a while, and it'll be like, listen to this new Japanese jazz ensemble. And you're like, oh, right. Okay. What's that? Like it's pretty easy to find these people, right?
Mhm.
There's still a lot of people doing that. Or like Yasi, like all
Sure.
of her stuff that she does, like all of her music stuff, and it's constant, right? Like you can find those people that do all that stuff, but most of the time people are like, I don't know, the algorithm's giving me 50% of what I need, so I'm over it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm good. It's a funny one. It is. I mean, I have tried to do that with, with some artists here through the podcast. It's a more in-depth thing rather than just a checkout. Like it's like, oh, listen to us talk for an hour. But I feel like it's a good way to get to know, at least for me, I mean, if I can, explore something, I like getting to talk more long form about it. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to all of it. But I have started an experiment, and I'll keep it updated here through the halftime channel. I bought an MP3 player. It just kind of looks like an old iPod.
Okay.
And I don't know, it might be here in 4 to 6 weeks. I don't know how far it's going to get here, but it has Bluetooth send, and I think it just has some kind of app or something, and you can just load it up with music. And I'm just going to do that rather than being on the streaming things. Just going old school, but not so old school. So I feel like that's the thing. I'm stuck between this shitty version of dystopian streaming music, which I don't want to be part of, or listening to records and tapes and CDs. And now the cars and the transport, where I'm spend 90% of my life, like most people in Southern California, it's only streaming. They've cut out all CDs and things.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but I just want like 10 records that I would listen to in the car. Like I used to have, I had a 5 CD changer. Ruled.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was crazy.
It was great.
I know.
It was huge. And I mean, that's all I needed for like half a year. I don't know, maybe a few months, 3 months.
Yeah.
Depending how excited whatever was coming up next and what was going to like push out one of those CDs. So, okay, I'm going to switch it up. So that's my thought. I'm just going to do that. And the kids just have to listen. Maybe I'll let the kids, once I figure it out, they can put on a couple dumb songs, put on some dinosaur butt cheeks meme songs.
They have to make their own little playlist and send it to you.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll load it on there. And that's
like
it. Those are the songs. That's what you get. But we don't have to listen to any ads. We don't have to, I don't know. It's an experiment. I'm going to see how it goes. In theory, I think this should be easy, but it'll keep everybody.
I like that idea. Well, because I feel like now that I've done playlists and everything on Spotify, most of the time I just go to one of those playlists and hit random. Like if I want to listen to music, or if I have my records that I'm like in the morning, I'm like, I need to wake up. And so I'll put on Jesus Lizard when I drive to work.
That's great.
Or whatever. Like, speaking of Jesus Lizard, by the way, Scratch Acid. I never listened to Scratch Acid.
Oh, really?
I'd never.
It's great.
I don't know why. I don't know why I thought
Jesus Lizard. He kind of said a little bit, not as fully,
but it's way more like a little bit more like industrial kind of ish kind of. I don't know why I thought they were like I felt like in my head, Scratch Acid was like a crazy industrial band from like the 80s or something like that. I didn't even know.
It kind of is, but it's David Yao,
but I didn't know it was David Yao.
And it's also the bass player David Sims as well.
Yeah, and it popped up on in a conversation I was listening to, and someone was like, "Well, David's first band, Scratch Acid," and I was like, "No, what? Come on!" And I listened to it, so I've been listening to a ton of Scratch Acid.
That's fun,
lately, which is great. So I love finding. I do love
listening
finding
to conspiracy theories and listening to Scratch Acid.
Yeah.
That's,
I feel like maybe now
brain.
that my hair is like slowly, like I'm getting more and more of a like I wouldn't say bald spot, but I'm receding a little bit. I feel like it's time for me to now grow my hair out.
Oh, there we go.
So I can be like one of the guys with the long hair, but like it's receding in the front.
You got to pull it back into a ponytail.
Yeah. So I'm going to start growing my hair out and getting like baggier and baggier clothes, more and more comfortable shoes, like buying my shoes at Walmart or whatever. And I'm gonna get real into early '90s. I'm gonna get into conspiracy. I'm gonna read Beyond the Pale Horse. Beyond the Pale Horse.
I don't know.
Do you know this book?
What is this?
This is like the original conspiracy theory book. It's got all of them in it.
I'm not this deep.
I'm going to start reading that. I'm going to get real into it.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
That's my 2026.
I had a kid I went to high school with. I remember this girl like would list, would just, I think was just mess with me, but in a friendly way, which was fun. But she would like, what are you listening to today? Because I always had like headphones. I had a Walkman, I'd make my own little mixtapes or just tape whole records. You fit 2 records on a 90-minute cassette. And I remember one day I was like, oh, this is Scratch Acid, or I'd like found a CD and put it on tape, and then she's like put it, and she like should listen to it. I'm like, you're crazy. And like threw it back at me like Scratch Acid. Right. Randy, listen to that, Scratch Acid. And that's just what she would say to me for the rest of the year. Whenever she walked away, she wouldn't want to even listen to anything anymore. Like, Randy, listen to Scratch Acid. Look at you over there. Listen to Scratch Acid. I was like, yes. Like, no, I was like, well, this is Tortoise, millions living or will never die, or now dead, or whatever the record title is. And she didn't want to hear that. She's like, nah, it's Scratch Acid. I know you. Like, I just became her hook for me whenever she'd see me.
I love that. I love that so much.
So whenever I think of Scratch Acid now, I think of that. I think of her giving me a hard time.
Well, now you can say that to me, because that's all. That's
Aaron, listening to Scratch Acid.
Scratch Acid.
That's what you're doing.
On the way to teach middle schoolers.
Yeah. No, I think I had a lot of headphone stuff, and it was like a safety blanket, and I'd, walk to school or skate or whatever, clip it in, throw it in your pocket, in your hoodie, whatever. And I don't know why. I think I've gotten away from it. I think I listen to more podcasts probably today than I do. It's just whole records. I just spent so long obsessing over records too. I think I really kind of like burned myself out and broke my heart over so many records, and then almost to the point where it became like mechanical or something. It's like if you work on cars all day, the last thing you want to do is go home and stare at a car and look at more cars, take it apart again. And you're just like, I know, it's over there. Yeah, over there.
Well, especially if you did it for work for so long.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like it also becomes, you just like listen to things and pick them apart. It's like even me with some photography stuff, I look and I'm like, I want to really enjoy this, but all I'm doing is like, the contrast is off, man. It's like the left side should be a little warmer.
Yeah.
Or what? Yeah. Or you put the pole right on their shoulder. You couldn't have moved it over. It's like, it's not enjoyable.
You're seeing things that no one else
I just want to love this again.
Or but even if you
looking at these old like
you do see great
National
things.
Geographic and stuff.
Yeah,
totally.
You see great things, but even that's depressing. You're like, I never did that. I'm not doing that now. I couldn't do that.
Right.
The amount of equipment.
You can't get out of the competitive part.
Like the cost that it would take to make a photo look as good as it did 40 years ago. Like to make that now would cost 10 times what it cost back then. And they just did it with a point and shoot. But it was the color processing. Yeah. It was the 3-color strip separation. And it's like there's no labs to do that. You'd have to pay so much to get the old camera, then the old film, and then do it. Have you seen this? This is a good conspiracy thing between photography and conspiracy. The sodium lights they used to have all throughout Los Angeles. There used to
sodium vapor lights.
Yeah, LA used to be yellow at night, and now they've changed them all to LED, and it's significantly changed the temperature.
Oh, right.
And look,
because it's blue light
of the city. Yeah. I've seen.
And you're not supposed.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, like blue light is supposed to be really bad for you too.
Okay. But it's a whole all of LA in the last 20 years, I guess, has changed out all of the street lamps and street lights to this new kind of technology, which is, I guess, I don't know if it's more energy efficient or not, but I've seen photo analysis of it. Like, do you remember growing up? It used to look like this, and now it looks like this.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, supposedly the yellow light is better for you, and then the blue light. I mean, if you really want to get the conspiracy theories, they love to say that the computers are like the blue light, and everything that's coming to you is actually an easier way to mind control.
Ooh.
100%.
Blue blockers. Yeah. You got to get those blue blockers on, baby.
Literally what the blue blockers are supposedly for. Oh, or if you listen to like nutballs Rick Rubin, he will not, even when it starts to get dark in his house, he will only wear red sunglasses. Whoa. Because to get all of the blue light completely away.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does that look like? That sounds like a Dario Argento movie. Just like a red filter on everything.
Hey man, I don't know. He looks healthy, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I have more Rick Rubin talk coming up on the pod. I interviewed Philip Broussard, who has worked with Rick for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to put together like a music producer or music production theme month.
Ooh. I know someone who worked for Rick for years too.
Oh.
No. Who was an engineer.
Oh, okay.
He was an engineer at Rick's at Rick's studio for a long time. He's
fun.
a great guy. I'll tell you off.
Yes, yeah,
just
we
in
can
case
get
you
into
know
it.
him or whatever.
Yeah.
But
it'll be fun. But yeah, but I think
no, but the lighting, I think is a big. I do think it's a big thing. I think that because even the warm light is more conducive. Like your brain definitely sees warm light and thinks more of outdoors and the sun and all of those things. And there's way more blue light now because of LEDs.
Interesting.
And I think it does affect people. I mean, do you ever walk into a house and someone has the net or what are the soft, like
the
soft
Edison
white
bulbs
or whatever, just regular soft white bulbs, but they're blue. It's like the bluish.
Oh yeah.
Like I always buy the old orange. Like if I can find the old regular orange,
like with the filament ones, the not LED. Is that down to that? Yeah.
Only because I feel like it's my eyes. The other stuff, it does what I'm doing right now. It stops me from thinking.
We got
the blue light bulbs. The blue light bulbs are in my head.
I've never really been that
it.
sensitive to lights, I don't think, but Shannon's always really, telling me like, no, we got like every room in the house has dimmers on it. Like I installed dimmers on everything just because she wants it just right. She'll walk into a room that I'm in, just like making coffee or cooking or doing something. She's like, what is wrong with you? And like turn all the lights off. I'm like, I needed that. I was making breakfast. What are you doing?
I can't see anything.
It's too bright in here. I'm like, okay. I think that was for the lights. It was too dark before, so I turned the lights on. Like, no, it has to be like that. I'm like, I don't know. No one gave me the rule book on how much light is allowed in a house at any time of day.
I have a buddy who couldn't walk into Home Depot because it was the lighting was so harsh with the tube lights that the fluorescence that it would throw him into like, he's like, dude, I got to get out of here. And he couldn't do it because he could see the flickering.
Ooh, that's not good.
Or like he would go into the anything with the fluorescent lights and he's like, dude, the whole place is flickering. I got to get out of here. He had like a different,
he could
speed. Like he could just see
like frames per second.
See the flicker.
They like lined up to where he could
give him like extreme anxiety and he had to leave.
That's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you as a photographer, I mean, you just know how to look for stuff. Like in the same way of like listening to things, like even if my hearing shot, I can still hear like, oh, well, you don't hear there's like a chime. There's like that bright, I don't know what that is, 12K, 10K of just kind of hiss happening back there.
Totally.
It's like they could really scoop that up. But again, it goes back to that thing too of not being able to enjoy things. You're like, or you listen to things just like I'm hearing what you're doing there. I hear what you didn't know you were doing there.
Well, that's what I keep talking to at school. The kids are supposed to, take pictures of their artwork and they put them up for me to grade. And then they have to make a little digital portfolio and stuff. And the one thing that I'm going over and over in my head is to not just roast them for how bad their photos are. Because I'm like, what is this? It's crooked. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, because I took photos of artwork for like the last 3 years of my photo
this
career.
is just photos,
maybe 5 years.
Photos of the art,
photos of their work.
I'm
like, it's crooked. You didn't even put the magnets on the corners right. It's like you got like it's pointed up. It needs to be straight. It needs to be 90 degree, and they're like 11, right, or 12. And so, but to me, I'm like, this is offensive. It's like I can't even see it. It's green. Like it needs to be like, how do I, so part of my thing for the next couple of years is actually to do like a legit, like a little photo space for them to do it. And then they have to they're going to have to color correct.
Just tell them to do it again.
They're just going to be like, can we not take this class anymore? This sucks. All we do is take photos of our artwork and get told that the photos are horrible. He doesn't even care about
artwork. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Art is subjective. Photos of artwork is very objective. Yeah. There's a right way to do this. It has to be lit from this angle to do it this way. Well, you're teaching them a lesson.
Yeah. Well, and I was also I was talking to my advisor about it because she was like, just have them do it with the Chromebooks. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. And she's like, well, there's not really any other options.
Oh, in terms of resources, if they have cameras?
Yeah, because I don't have a camera for my class, but some of them have phones. And so they can take a picture with their phone and then put it up into like Google Classroom and do all that stuff. But then some of them don't have phones or their phones aren't allowed to be connected to anything and stuff. And so then they have to do it with the computers. And I'm just like, it I was trying to tell her, I'm like, I can't explain.
There's no
it's
tripod.
Like, it makes me angry.
for
it makes me, even if they have it, even if I tell them exactly how to set it up, it's like, it's a mess. And so I'm like, I can't explain to you how angry it makes me. Like, it makes me obsessively angry to look at the photos. And as much as I know how helpful it is for them to put it in their portfolio, I've just done this for so long that all I see is like green light, crooked, and out of focus. And I'm like, this isn't even, we might as well just have them draw it again in like Google.
Well, it's hilarious.
So funny.
I wonder if there's an AI correction for that. If they take a bad one and you can just type in a prompt like, put this on a white gallery wall, straight white light.
And yeah, totally. I bet I could make I've made a couple of like those desktop apps with Gemini and there definitely is. You could just write that.
Make this evil technology work for you.
Yeah. Yep. I've done a couple ones. I made one that like makes coloring book pages out of photos.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Which is fun. And then I made one that just for I don't know, making TIFFs into PDFs and JPEGs and whatever, and not having to pay for Adobe to do it for you.
That's what it should be used for. Technology piracy.
Make things free again.
Yes. All right.
Make the internet free again.
Let's end it there. Oh, we didn't have a movie we were supposed to watch this week, did we? I forget. I didn't watch anything.
We were gonna watch Starship Troopers, but let's do that for next week because I think I'll have some time for next week to actually watch.
Perfect. All right, we'll do it then. Right. The good homies at Brave Little Toaster reached out. They have a whole record coming out. I should put in their new single. Is that what they're called? Scared Little Toaster, and they were not brave. They were the opposite of the brave one. They were the scared.
Yes.
I should. I'll put up a link to it. To the whole thing here. Why is it's not coming up here? But I will put the link up, and everyone should go listen to it. Where's the Little Toasters? It's not coming up right here. Why is it not coming up? This is from September.
They didn't pay the data center.
Yeah.
The data center took them out.
Well, anyway, Scared Little Toaster, good job. Good record. I will put a song up here at the end to play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? We'll do it live. To play us out.
We'll do it live.
All right. Awesome.